Hello, welcome to the presentation for Quick Start Guide for ClearPath OS 2200 IDE for Eclipse. I am Rajesh Mudlapur and I am the architect for Eclipse IDE. Let's see the agenda. First thing is, what is ClearPath OS 2200 IDE for Eclipse? The Telnet plugin, OS 2200 project plugin, the download site. What is ClearPath OS 2200 IDE for Eclipse? The ClearPath OS 2200 IDE for Eclipse is a package that contains standard plugins from the Eclipse Foundation and also plugins created by Unisys. This package contains plugins for C and C++ development, Java development, and other plugins that help to develop web applications and web services. Unisys also add 3 additional plugins that aid in creating business services from ClearPath OS 2200 assets. The Java Application Integrator plugin is used to wrap existing ClearPath OS 2200 assets with Java so that they can be called as business services. The OS 2200 project plugin and Telnet session plugin are used to maintain existing ClearPath OS 2200 assets. In this presentation, we will be looking at the Telnet plugin and the OS 2200 project plugin. The Telnet plugin. What is Telnet plugin and what functionalities does it provide? It provides a full-featured Telnet console window within Eclipse. The Telnet client is used to provide access to a ClearPath system or a Unix system or a Linux or any other system that supports the standard Telnet protocol. The Telnet plugin provides connection profiles for automated connections to frequently used systems. The underlying Telnet library is used by the OS 2200 project plugin to execute ECL commands. Configuring host accounts. Part of a connection profile is the ability to provide host account information. In the Telnet plugin, the host account information for Telnet connections and CIFS connections can be configured. Provide saving of encrypted passwords across Eclipse sessions. If save password is not checked, each time a system connection is made, a window will be displayed that prompts for a password. Otherwise, the password entered in the host account properties will be used. When the password is stored, it is always encrypted. A connection is associated with a host account configuration. Multiple connections can be associated with a single host account. The Telnet connection settings let you define host prompts and responses that must be answered when connecting to a server. For example, a prompt for a project ID or account number may occur when you connect to a server. The Telnet connection setting lets you record the prompts and provide an appropriate response. If a host prompt occurs that is not defined in the Telnet connection settings, then a window is displayed with the prompt and a field to enter the response. For enhanced security, SSL can be enabled. Open a Telnet session. The Telnet plugin adds a menu item that can be selected to open a Telnet session. A window is opened that lets you select an existing connection or create a new connection. After a successful connection, the Telnet session can be used to execute any ECL commands or applications that do not generate UTS screen protocol. In this example, the etcons command has been executed. OS 2200 project plugin. The OS 2200 project plugin provides a set of tools that can be used to maintain existing OS 2200 applications or develop new applications. An OS 2200 project provides a nice way to organize the source elements for an OS 2200 application. An OS 2200 project is associated with an OS 2200 work file, and any source elements in the work file can be added to an OS 2200 project. The OS 2200 project plugin also provides a way to add new source elements to a project. The source elements can be edited using Eclipse. The OS 2200 project plugin provides editors for COBOL, C, C++, and other text editors. Error detection is integrated with Eclipse Problems view. It supports UCS languages and ASCII COBOL. Integrated debugging of OS 2200 applications is available, and it is supported for UCS languages. Uses a Telnet connection and CIFS to access ClearPath systems. How to create a new OS 2200 project. To create an OS 2200 project, a project wizard is used to collect information. A name is provided for a project. Then the information about the OS 2200 system in the form of OS 2200 connection name and the OS 2200 share is provided. Various options are available for defining how CIFS will be used to access the source elements. For example, a share name other than OS 2200 may be used to access source elements, or maybe a specific share name should be used to access the work file. Since OS 2200 project works with the work file, the OS 2200 work file name must be provided in the standard Q*F format. Also note that it allows to create new OS 2200 connections and create new work file without leaving the OS 2200 project creation wizard. The next window in the project wizard lets you specify one or more ECL commands that will be used to build the OS 2200 application. A Telnet connection is used to execute each of the ECL command, and the resulting output is displayed in an OS 2200 console view. If the output is sent to a breakpoint file, then it is not displayed in the standard console window, but this can also be handled by selecting the Breakpoint Files tab. This tab lets you specify information about breakpoint files used during the build process. You can associate a view name with the breakpoint file, and the contents of the breakpoint file will be displayed in the separate console view. One or more breakpoint files can be configured for a project. This window is used to add elements to a OS 2200 project. The work file contents list box shows the elements that have not yet been included in the OS 2200 project. The project contents list box shows the elements that are part of the OS 2200 projects. Elements can be moved between list boxes by selecting one or more elements and then pressing the appropriate arrow button. Editor association. If elements have a version defined such as /C, then this value will be used to automatically associate the file with a particular editor. In this case, it will be a C editor. If a version is not defined, then it will attempt to dynamically associate the element with an appropriate editor. Otherwise, the element will be associated with the text editor. It is possible to explicitly associate an element with a specific editor by changing the element attributes. Select one or more elements and then select a specific editor from the list of editors under Change Element Attributes. Press the Change button to update the element attributes. How to edit project files. The OS 2200 perspective contains an OS 2200 Explorer that contains OS 2200 projects and various editors used to update the elements in a project. Above you can see the association with the COBOL editor. To open, double-click on an element. It will open in an appropriate editor. In this instance, it is using COBOL editor. How to set up application for debugging. The OS 2200 project plugin also supports remote debugging of applications written using UCS languages such as UCOB and UC. The debug callback ID, debug callback port number, and callback IP address provide information that is used to create a MASM element that is linked into an application. The OS 2200 debug library name contains libraries that also need to be linked into an application. These libraries come with the Eclipse IDE for OS 2200 package and need to be copied to the ClearPath OS 2200 system before debugging can be performed. There is also a read-only field that contains some link directive that should be included in the link stream for an application. Finally, the multi-line field at the bottom of the window should contain an add stream or other ECL command used to build an application. When use debug build is checked, the system included in the field will be executed. How to set up Eclipse debug configuration? To set up debug configuration, go to menu option, run debug configurations. In the debug configuration, select OS 2200 launcher. The context menu of the OS 2200 launcher, that is mouse right click, will allow to create a new OS 2200 launcher. Leave the default values for the new OS 2200 launcher as is. In this example, a new launcher called as Demo is created for the Demo OS 2200 project. Using the new launcher, the demo project can be debugged. How to build OS 2200 project? The Build Project context menu option of the OS 2200 project provides the build option. By clicking on the build project, it will initiate the build. When the build is initiated, it provides build progress in status bar. Messages from OS 2200 host is written to the OS 2200 console view. In this example, it is demo-OS 2200 console because demo is the name of the project. At the end of the build, summary is written to OS 2200 end summary view. Debug the OS 2200 project. In order to debug an OS 2200 project, we should initiate the launch from the OS 2200 launcher in the debug mode. In order to go to the OS 2200 launcher, you should go to Run Debug Configurations OS 2200 launcher from the menu option. This is how the debug perspective looks when debugging an OS 2200 application. The Debug View tab shows a call stack frames. The editor shows where in the code the debugger is suspended. The Variables view shows the data contained in variables defined in the code. And the Telnet session shows how the application was started on the ClearPath OS 2200 system and connects back to the remote debugger. This is another view of the Variables view, shows how data from a COBOL application is displayed. In this case, credit card represents a DMS record type and CC issued date is a group item in the DMS record. Updating a variable value. The Variables view allows the value of a variable to be modified while an application is running. This is accomplished by selecting the variable to update and right-click, select the change value, which displays a set value window where a new value can be entered. As you can notice, the cust ID has been modified. The Registers tab. This is the Registers view, displays the contents of the various system registers. Memory tab. This is the memory view. The memory view allows a memory address to be entered so that raw memory data can be viewed. This provides information to the download site. Latest version of the Eclipse IDE and additional materials are available from ClearPath OS 2200 IDE for Eclipse software download page on Unisys site. The actual download of the Eclipse IDE is a zip file. Once it is downloaded, unzip to a location, for example, c:/Eclipse. Click on the eclipse.exe within c:/Eclipse to start the Eclipse IDE. For further assistance, please refer to Installation, Starting ClearPath OS 2200 IDE for Eclipse, and Understanding OS 2200 Project section from Eclipse 2200 Getting Started Guide. Thank you.